Gareth Southgate, living in the moment, has not always come easily. The English manager is such a forced operator, he rarely allows himself to savour results, instead embracing football's caselessness onto the next one mentality. Even in the minutes after England's semi against Denmark, as a euphoric nation celebrated victory, Southgate was still mentally digesting the match, thinking of ways to improve for Italy. "I don't think it's really sunk in yet," he said. "I'm still mulling through the game in my head. More than ever, Southgate will be looking ahead, steeling himself and his England squad after the crushing defeat to Italy. From avenging past defeats to vanquishing decade-old hoodoos, Southgate's England have risen to new challenges and broken new ground over the course of Euro 2020, redefining the image of and the expectations of the national team. As the manager turns his attentions to Qatar 2022, and with a triple header qualifiers against Hungary, Andorra and Poland coming up in September, he will know that one significant psychological hurdle still remains: replicating England's form away from home. England's two greatest tournament runs have now come on home soil 55 years apart, and they must not wait for another one to be competitive again, even as Britain and Ireland push ahead with a joint bid for the 2030 World Cup. On paper, England are well placed to build on this summer's success at the tournament in Qatar, which starts in less than 500 days' time on November the 21st next year. The quality and youth of this squad points to a possible golden age, and it should not be beyond any of Southgate's current players to still be in contention next winter, with Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Declan Rice, Mason Mount and Bukayo Saka maturing, and likes of Mason Greenwood, Emile Smith-Rowe, Oliver Skip and maybe even Harvey Elliott among those who could be in contention by then, and England's talent pool will only be deeper. England, even before considering the alien conditions in Qatar, the tournament brought out England with the huge challenges of being a prize scout and the pressure of backing up their run to their first European Championship final with another strong showing. A further test of mental fortitude lies ahead, and more than any other major tournament in history, adapting to unique circumstances feels like the key to success. Even in the tournament being moved to the winter, temperatures could still be as high as 30 degrees, while a mid-season World Cup presents its own challenges. Will it be as easy for players to switch off from domestic commitments and rivalries? Never one to count his chickens, Southgate will want to get qualification out of the way before discussing Qatar, but England are already well placed to book their spot, having won their first three qualifiers in March. In spite of the Italy result, which continued a trend of host nations losing the Euros final, it is always important to acknowledge that no country benefited from home confidence more than England this summer. After the group stage, they came to feel like the sole host of the continent-wide tournament. Southgate has pointed out there is always a host of major tournament, but England have enjoyed more of an advantage than usual. In normal circumstances, all participating squads are settled in one country from the start of the tournament, but these Euros, a number of teams have been forced the arduous travel around the continent, including trips to Baku. Italy, for example, played 3 of their games in Rome and 3 of their 4 games at Wembley, but they still had to contend with travelling back and forth from their base in Florence, including between the semi and the final. Following their last 16 win over Austria, they were held up by COVID checks at Luton Airport and did not arrive back until 6 a.m. England faced no such disruptions, with a majority of their travelling time between their luxurious St George's Park in Staffordshire and the Grove Hotel in Watford and Wembley. The only away game was the easiest of the knockouts and arguably the tournament against Ukraine and Rome, and there was a powerful argument articulated by Southgate himself that the trip was actually positive following the euphoria of the last 16 win over Germany. Ultimately, England had maximised conditions, handed them to them superbly, and made some of their own luck by winning their game to ensure another game at Wembley, when finishing second or third would have led to consecutive away matches. Looking ahead, they must find a way to make the most of the conditions in Qatar, and once again, now this period of reflection is coming to an end, Southgate will already be plotting how. Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and remember what comes down below to follow on to this link in the description below for daily football news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.